Hey everyone, welcome. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac. Tea time, messy Monday, whatever you want to call it. This is like my favorite part of Mondays. So today I got some tea for y'all, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm your host, Avalaura, the life coach and intuitive consultant, and I'm gonna let my friends introduce themselves, and we're gonna go ahead on and just get right into it. Miss Eden, how you doing tonight?
I'm feeling all right tonight. Hey, everybody watching. I'm Eden, host extraordinaire outside of this space, and also certified sex educator. So I'll be watching for all of the healthy relationship and unhealthy relationship behaviors, all of the sexual dynamics in the couples. I'm ready to get into
We got a lot to get into there.
it. Baby.
And
Miss
then I guess I will jump in then after that. My name is Philly Lily, and when I am not talking messy talk and talking tea with Ava Laura, I am a mental health therapist. But I bring that approach to our talk, to our tea time, because there is some behavioral health component to a lot of the stuff that we see on the show. And like I said, I really always enjoy the Housewives because I always enjoy about hearing about people's perspectives. So thank you for having me again tonight, Ava Laura.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So this week was interesting. The last few weeks. So this is what happened. So I ended up in the Twitterverse today, which I haven't been on and I don't even know how long. But the whole thing with Jay-Z happened. And so I found myself down the Twitter rabbit hole, right? Because that was trending. And then I saw Real Housewives of Potomac trending. So then I went into that rabbit hole. And it was interesting because I hadn't watched the episode yet when I was watching it. So some of the stuff, obviously, I knew what they were talking about. Some of the stuff, I was like, "What is going on?" Well, some of the stuff they were like, basically, this is a boring season, and we've been saying that. Like, this is probably one of the most boring seasons of Potomac in
Mhm.
a while, and there's a number of reasons for that we went into, but we all kind of agreed. But I was laughing because I was seeing these memes about Wendy, and I said, "What is going on?" And then I saw the show, and I said, "OMG, who let Wendy wear that sweater? Why
Oh,
are we
Oh, I guess we're gonna start
my
early with my fan.
She
That
looked like the
are we gonna
new
start early?
Incredible Hulk?" I said, "What in the?" That was not flattering at all. That
It's
was
not
like,
supposed to be flattering. It's fashion. It's playing with proportion. It's making interesting shapes. Everything is not supposed to show every curve of your body. I was
no,
into
no.
it. I like the
It
sweater.
doesn't have to show curves because everybody knows I'm a modest dresser, right? So we don't have to show curves to be sexy and to be all of that. But it was like the shoulder pads times 10. It just made
Mhm.
her look huge. I was like, what's happening?
So you're talking about the blue sweater she had on when her and her sister went to go meet up with the mom, and she did. Yeah, when she first came in, I was confused. I was like, so it's a sweater, but it's a dress, but it's a sweater. But then remember on the Whiz, like when they were down the subway on the Whiz, and the big things start getting bigger and bigger with their arms and everything. That's what it looked like at first to me, and I was like, oh. But like Eden said, it is fashion. I mean, like that's what I think she was really, really going for fashion at that moment.
I'm gonna need her to not wear that again. Don't ever wear it. It wasn't. I'm all for playing with dimensions, but it just didn't do her justice. She it really made her look like she was like bulking up. I was like, what in the? And it was like, and like you said, depending on which way she turns, it looked different. I was like, wait, did she get bigger? What happened? It was odd.
So
I
there
like
were
the sweater. I thought it was cute. I would wear it. I thought it looked good on Wendy. And I think we see Wendy in enough different styles to know how she is really shaped, to not be like,
yeah.
oh, Wendy's bulking up or whatever. Like, it's just the shape of the sweater. I thought it was a fly sweater.
It was hilarious because I was like, what are they talking about? And then I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. I get it. All
So
right.
you're gonna have to send us a screenshot of one of these memes that
Oh
people
my God,
did.
there are so many. I mean, I don't know if it's still trending, but if you just hashtag, RHOP, listen, they went in. They went in on a lot of stuff, but they went in on that. That was pretty funny.
Well,
Um,
I have a question though. I know this is the RHOP chat and everything like that, and I get that. But what is going on with Jay Z? Like, I feel like Eden and I were both making the same face. Like, what's going
Oh
on with Jay
no, I
Z?
know what's going
she know
on.
what's going
Oh,
on.
oh, I don't know what's
As a
going on.
certified sex educator, I stay
Yeah,
up on the latest sexual assault allegations in the media.
yeah.
And so I'm well aware of what's going on. But yeah, Jay-Z was
Yesterday,
accused in a Diddy briefing or in a Diddy accusation.
yeah.
And so a lot of folks saw that coming. So yeah, I'm not surprised that that came out.
Mm.
I'm also not surprised that that's trending right along with whatever else Twitter or X is
Yeah.
talking about today.
I was
So
like,
a woman has accused Jay Z of
no,
sexual
no, a
assault.
girl. She was 13 at the time. Yeah,
Has
yeah.
accused Jay Z of sexual assault.
With
Okay.
Diddy. With Diddy.
So it was like at a Diddy party and something.
I did not read everything. I think so. So don't quote me on that. But yes, I think that's what the allegations were saying. It's a lot of speculations. A lot of people are like, I don't think this is true. A lot of people on Twitter are stomping on his grave, like, ha ha ha, which here's the thing. I believe in karma. I believe everybody's gonna get their just due, but I am never gonna celebrate the demise of anybody. Like it
Mm,
just it's just not necessary. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's my karma. That's not necessary.
mhm.
It's a lot of people. I hope he didn't do it. A lot of people defending him don't even know him. Listen, my thing is let the truth come to light. If he did it, he need to get what he need to get. That's and if he didn't, I hope he can clear his name. Um, that's that. But that's a
Mm.
whole rabbit hole. It's a whole rabbit hole. We could do a whole separate live stream just on that.
That's very true. I am always in support of survivors having the courage and strength and resources to come forward. And so that's all I'll say on that. But we ain't got to stay on that topic too long.
Yeah.
We can get back to the fun kind of mess.
The fun mess. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Okay.
since I started with Wendy, what I will say I thought was good. So we talked on here before about Nigerian culture, and Shelly had a whole lot to say about it. It was quite hilarious. And I talked about the fact, like, I've had several Nigerian clients. I've been to Nigeria. Pretty familiar with Nigerian culture, and usually parents, really want their kids to be a doctor, a lawyer, or, like the sister said, engineer, right? Education is important. They all about those degrees. And so I was really proud of Wendy for saying, hey, mom, you know what? I left my job and I want to spend time with my children. I really don't want to run this rat race anymore. Like, I'm doing me. And you saw at first her mama was like, are you crazy? You saw that, right? Like, she kind of flipped out. And then she like came around. I was like, did she really come around, or was it the cameras? Because I don't know. Because Wendy was paying her that monthly stipend or whatever. I don't know if she's still gonna get her money if Wendy don't have a job. So what y'all think?
I mean, let's be clear. Wendy has several streams of income. So no longer teaching at Hopkins does not mean that she is impoverished by any means. And I've also really enjoyed watching Wendy navigate like her relationship with her mother and her mother's approval. I think that, like, separate from, specifically Nigerian culture, but just like being an adult and trying to live in your truth and what you want to do and what you want for yourself, and now your family, your husband, your kids, and like what you've built in that regard. And like really having to turn to your parents and be like, this is my life, and I understand what you may have wanted for me or the picture that you had for what my life was going to look like. But like, parents do have to wrap their head around the fact that their children grow into adults that have to make the
They're
best
their own
decisions for
people.
themselves. So like, I really just loved her having that moment, even with her sister, of like, hey, I'm freaking out about this. I don't even know how this conversation about to go. And I think there is some, like, I don't know, some predictability in the fact that the mom automatically was like, are you crazy? And they're both like, well, yes, we knew that's how she was going to react. So like, whatever comes after this is a blessing. The fact that the mom was able to be like, I wish the best for you and whatever you pursue. Like, who knows if that was genuine, but that's what an adult child needs to hear when they're pursuing something outside of what their parents set out for them. So I'm glad that Wendy got to hear that, whether that's how the mama feels or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of, you wonder, is this career for me or is this career for my parents?
Yes.
You know, and it's just like if you get down to it and then you want to spend time with your kids in the blink of an eye, they're big and they're adults and then they're grown. So she has the opportunity to spend time with her kids versus being a professor. I say go for it. You know, I mean, I definitely say go for it. But I do wonder about that. And I do ask you, and I bring it back to you, or like for them, is it like in Nigerian culture, is it that they want their kids to have a career that makes a lot of money? Or is it that they want them to have a career with a lot of status? So they can
Both.
say, oh, my daughter is a doctor. Oh, my son is an engineer. Oh, you know, which one is it? Or is it even both?
It's both. Which is why you saw her mother say that. First, she was like, I'm always bragging on my kids. And she was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Mhm.
Right. Because I guess she can't say, oh, my daughter's a stay at home mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not
Mhm.
braggalicious. But yes, it's really both. They care about the money and the status. And it is very real, you know, that a lot of people will send money back home, that they will still send money to their parents as adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, all that was real. So I mean, you know, I could see that growth and that needed to be celebrated. There wasn't much else about her this episode, so you know, we gonna talk about the others, but I thought that part was really interesting. Now the whole thing with Gizelle talking about parents, I was a little confused about that. Now,
You talking about the part where she was talking about with her dad with the
yes.
estate stuff?
So
Okay.
is she trying to? So and here's why I was confused. I understand what she's saying has happened with her dad, but is she trying to make the leap that she doesn't want to get remarried because she's concerned about her girls and what they will get if she gets remarried because of this situation with her father? Like, is that what she was trying to allude to, or was that just me?
I think that was a large part of what she was saying to her kids, that like when you marry somebody, it is a combining of assets and it does
Mhm.
have an effect on how your assets are distributed once you die. So it she was saying it's her choice that like if I fall in love, if I partner with somebody else, we don't necessarily have to combine assets because I want to have full control over what my children get from me. So like I was with it. I think that it was a very like unromantic discussion of like what marriage is. And I think that that's the part of marriage that people don't really be wanting to talk about. Like, yes, it is, you know, falling in love and making the commitment to each other, but it is also a combining of assets and resources. And when things come up, whether it's you decide you're not going to be together no more, or there is an untimely death that you're not prepared for on paper, then yes, your assets can end up going places that you did not want them to go. So
Mhm.
I was with Gizelle on this
You
one.
know, I just didn't want it to be an excuse as to, oh, I don't want to get married because I'm like the girls. Well, there's ways around that. You can get a trust, you can do all of these different things,
Yeah.
these wealth
Absolutely.
strategies. That doesn't have to be the reason. And she's talking about this, and then at the same time saying, well, I don't trust these people. Well,
Well, it's also these people, right? It's hypothetical people. She's not necessarily tied to anybody right now. So this is what she's saying about
Mhm.
hypothetical people that she may or may not date in the future. So yes, I don't trust a stranger that I don't know right now. What I'm concerned about is my kids that I do have right now. I feel like that's the way she was approaching the conversation. And a lot of times a thought process starts with I don't want to do this. And then people get to introduce options like the girls were doing. Like,
right,
have you
right.
considered going the route that dad did? Or like, have you considered that we're growing up and going to come into our own assets and resources as well? Like, there's a lot of layers to
Mhm.
the conversation that I'm
Yep.
sure we didn't get to see, but I'm glad we got to see it start from a place of I don't trust these people and then see how the conversation developed to what might ultimately be something else.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing about it is, I wonder, you know, there's been these two transitions for her
Yeah.
recently. It's been the transition of her father, you know, passing away, but then there's
Mhm.
also been the transition of Jamal getting married to this lady.
Yep.
And so, and that felt like that's what all of this was. It was her talking about her dad passing away, but then
Mhm.
she was also talking about Jamal. And I'm like, what? It like you're right. It was going back and
Yeah.
forth. It really was
It
going
was
back and
something
forth.
there, and I was like, this is not on the up and up. It really sounds like making excuses for some type of kind of trauma response or something. Like it was just, there was some underlying stuff that we didn't see it, but I could feel it. I was like, this don't sound right.
Well, what it was too was she was like that, after her father had this brain surgery, then Shelly was here, but
Right, Shelly
Shelly
came
gonna
and went
Shelly gonna come back. Shelly gonna come
in a
back.
blink of an eye.
Shelly was here. But she was saying that after the brain surgery, her father signed a new will, and in the new will, she did not. It didn't include her, and I'm guessing it didn't include her sister.
Yeah,
But the thing about it is, she was like, somebody had my father sign this new will. I think she was
somebody,
also, huh?
Now, see,
somebody.
that's the type of wealthy foolishness I watch this show for. I want the mystery of like who signed my daddy's name so that I'm cut out
Process.
the will. Like that is my kind of Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful style foolishness that I'm here for. And I want to know who signed
Who's
daddy's
the
will.
somebody? I was like, who's somebody?
Okay,
Who's the
that's what I want to know.
somebody? Yeah, like who is the mysterious somebody? And it's definitely somebody that you don't want to say on TV, but you
Exactly.
don't want to say like it's my dad's new wife or my dad's girlfriend or somebody that you don't want to say on TV. That's the somebody.
Now, see, also, if this is a legal matter, I appreciate the way Gizelle is being choosy with her words.
What
I
you do say?
appreciate the somebody. I appreciate the vagueness with the language and the like making it a part of a conversation with about something else. Because if it's a legal matter, you're right. You can't name names. You can't put
Yeah.
too many details out there for us to discuss. So I kind of like the way that she was treading
Or it
around
could
it,
have
but
been straight up
also,
shady, like somebody.
I
And that
mean,
was the thing. That was the thing. I mean,
Somebody.
somebody, like, who's the somebody that made him sign a new will
Right,
that
like how
didn't?
does that go down? I'm like, hold on now. Like you said, this is some Young and the Restless. Like, where does this go?
Oh, you said Young and the Restless.
yes, that's what I'm here for. Who signed
Yeah.
Daddy's will when he was still under anesthesia from the brain tumor surgery? Like, dun dun
Yeah, like
dun.
what?
I want to know.
Well, hey guys, Shelly's
Hey,
here.
Shelly, how are
Hi,
you?
Hi,
Good to
Shelly.
see you.
Shelly.
Feel free to jump on in.
About Giselle, and I was feeling the same way. Who did this? Who did this? When we gonna find out?
Right, what we gonna find out?
We really
Right. Nobody asked. Like nobody's saying who's the somebody, mom. They just going on like it's a normal conversation. I'm like, hold on now. Wait a minute. What just happened?
exactly. I want to know. I really want to know bad, real bad, because I
We'll
don't
see.
know
I was like, she got a storyline now. She got
exactly,
a storyline.
exactly, exactly. Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think the girls know. I think the
I
girls
think so
know.
too.
And I think if you saw in other episodes when the grandfather would be on there with the girls,
Mm-hmm.
Giselle is right. He loved those girls,
Mm-hmm.
and he really did want to provide something for those girls. For him to have a will that he didn't leave nothing to them, that just doesn't make sense to me either. Because I remember one time he was on there even with their father, and he had to excuse himself. He didn't want to say nothing bad about their father in front of them,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
but like once he was off camera, he was like, that he got 5 kids by 5 different women and all this other kind of stuff. And so, but that's what I think. Yeah, it is kind of hard to believe. So I don't, who is the mysterious somebody, Giselle?
Somebody got greedy.
Well,
They
who?
couldn't even just take half. They had to try, they had to go for 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am tuned in to find out. This
Yes.
is what I'm here for.
I said, finally, Gizelle got a storyline. Now, I did love the whole speed dating thing with Ashley. What did y'all think about that? Both of them definitely have a type. They got a
Yes,
type.
yes, they do. I was thinking the same thing. Giselle for sure has the type. Um, she likes that Jamal looking guy. She definitely has a type, but I don't really think she's satisfied with that one that she act like she was vibing with. I
We didn't see their date. Maybe we'll see that next week.
Well, right, but the one of the guys that kind of really put me in the mind of Jamal, that she
Hmm.
act like she was feeling. I don't know if she really feeling him.
That's what I said. I can't tell because we got to see the date. Like I didn't think Ashley was really feeling the farm dude, but the way she kissed him, I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, I thought Ashley was feeling the farm dude. And even when
oh,
like after the speed dating thing, the organizer had asked each of them like what dude were you feeling? And Gizelle was like, oh, I like Josh for
yes,
her.
for
Like
her.
Gizelle wasn't feeling none of them dudes, but she was like, okay, there was a vibe between Ashley and the farm dude. So like let's see how that pans out. I personally could have been left out of the whole speed dating thing. You ain't even have to include that in this episode. That was irrelevant detail to
See,
me.
I
I
like
don't know
dating.
who they
Like
was
I want
contracted
them to
with at
find
the
love.
restaurant. No, I didn't need it. I mean, by all means, like date, find love, connect with people, but like this little setup of men to no, I
Now,
wasn't in.
this is what I wasn't sure about. Like, did the men already know that they were going in and meeting them? Because that one dude Ashley brought all that big bouquet of flowers. And then he was like, yeah, I kind of checked you out, which was a little creepy. I was like, okay, what kind of speed? Because speed date, normally you don't know who people are. You just show up and you see who you see. I'm like, so how did he know that he was going to meet her and bring her these flowers and all this stuff? I was like,
Because the event was obviously organized as like come talk to Gizelle and Ashley for 3 minutes and be on TV in your tight blazer. Like that's really what the
In
event
the tight blazer.
is. Like that's really what it was. It was just a bunch of dudes in tight blazers and ankle socks trying to flaunt a
ankle
little bit.
socks.
Oh my
I
god.
wasn't feeling it at all. The flower thing was cute. Like, oh, I looked up that it was your birthday. I know you like these flowers. Like, yes, these are public people who put a lot of details about themselves out for the world. So if you're trying to date them on the show that they're on, yeah, act like you pay attention. Bring a little something. Like, make your 3 minutes worthwhile. But other than that, I could have done without that whole segment.
I did like Josh though. Josh had a story. I was like, wow, cancer at like, can we talk about that? I was more interested in that. Like by 30, 28, I think he said he was diagnosed. So I was interested in that part, but they're not gonna go there.
And that's how Peacock ends up with a spinoff where Josh is trying to find love with 12 women who want to make sure that he gets to live his days with the love that he deserves after his cancer diagnosis. Like, I'm not interested. I'm glad he's good, but I'm not interested.
We'll
Oh my
see. I have a feeling we're gonna see more dating in our future. That seems to be where they're going. So I think we're gonna see some more dates. Lil, what you think?
Well, I think the thing about it is I have to be really honest. I didn't get to that part of the show. So I was watching the show and I didn't even watch the whole show, guys. I'm sorry, you guys are gonna be
That's
like, really,
okay.
Lillian? But yeah, I did not get to that part. But I'm sitting here cracking up laughing at Eden's read and your read of it too. I do wonder, Ashley is dating. Is Ashley still married? Like
Yeah.
what?
She's still married. She is in the process of divorce. So they are actually going through the process. I mean, I personally think, and we're gonna get to Stacey. I
I,
personally think
now I did
her
see
and
Stacey part. Yeah.
Stacey really need to go on and just heal first. They don't have no business dating nobody. Stacey obviously don't know how to pick who she need to be with because this dude is not it. So we need to just go heal, go back to the drawing board, let the divorce, let that play out, and then we go on this love journey. I think they moving too fast.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
I disagree. Y'all get y'all date on. Y'all cute. Y'all out here. Do your thing.
Not with those choices. Mm-mm.
I mean,
Wait, Shelly was saying something,
Stacey
y'all.
has
Wait.
shown she cannot be left to her own devices.
which is why I'm saying she needs to go date. Like not this man. We can if we are at the TJ portion of the evening, we can get
Yes,
into
that's
it.
what I mean. No, she need to heal first because
I
if
have
that's what she
things
wants,
to say. This
we got
TJ
some stuff to
man
work on.
gets on my nerves so bad.
My last
So
nerve,
here's how
Eden.
I feel about TJ. TJ is proof that most men don't have a personality separate from I get bitches. Like he ain't really got nothing going for him conversation wise, activity wise, like he has removed his like sexuality from his personality and really ain't got much to say or do.
I at all like he gets this is my thing. All of their conversations, I find her to be very like he is incredibly defensive. Like no matter what she says to him, he has a defensive response. Now you sitting in my kitchen with like some bonnet that you got from CVS. I mean, like, and you putting this on and you acting like you the pizza chef
Wait,
for
can
the
we talk
sake.
about the bonnet for just a moment? Can we just talk about the bonnet for a moment? Because Stacey made it clear that that was not her bonnet. Stacey got in the confessional and said, "I don't even wear a silk bonnet."
She
So,
sure did.
so
She
that was
really did.
PJ's personal bonnet, or the bonnet
She
that he
really
purchased just
did.
for this little pizza segment. Which, like, if you were gonna go out and buy a hat to make pizza in, then you can just go get a chef hat. Why would you
Really.
get a emerald green satin bonnet unless you just wanted to have that, TJ? It seems like you just wanted to have that, and that's okay. Protect your curl pattern, sir, but don't make it about this corny ass pizza. I'm over
No.
him.
What did you think?
Wait, I'm sorry. You asked me or you asked Shelly?
Oh, I asked Shelly.
What did you say?
I said, what did you think? Shelly in bed chilling. She like, whatever.
And that guy, he just doesn't seem real to me. He just seemed like a plant. I don't know.
A plant.
I mean, he is an actor, so yeah, it seems like he's on here trying to like book
Yeah.
his next role.
Yeah, he just doesn't
So,
feel to me. I don't get a vibe at all.
I don't think any of us do.
No.
Now, my concern, you know, he very well could be on there to try to revive his career or get a career or something. My concern is that he's abusive. And we talked about this last week after that whole white party with Wendy, and then he alluded back to it again. Like, sir, you were out there talking with the dudes. Why did you care who she was talking with? She's a housewife. She is not going to be underneath you the whole time. But what I don't like is the way he talks to her and the way she kind of cowers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's
She like apologized and then came, and I was like, we got to stop shrinking for this dude.
Yeah, there's some big like gender role dynamics at play where he feels as though like he's the man and he gets to like make decisions about her behavior and how she moves through spaces. And it's like, sir, this is actually about her. Like you are her plus one.
Exactly.
So you need to actually let her shine and be glad that you were invited.
Yeah, and like I said, everything she asked him, I feel like he's defensive. It's like, okay, did you get this pizza from Safeway? What? I have to get a pizza from Safeway. I can't get it from Giant. Like, what is this? Like, why is it that every time I ask you something, you have to be defensive? Like, that's the energy that I get.
Yeah.
He acts defensive, and then also like I go to what you said, Avalaura, about him being abusive. He always tries to make her feel bad. Like, oh, you left me there and didn't check on me. Oh, you did this wrong too. Oh, you did. And he's just so critical of her, and she just sits there, okay,
And takes
all
it.
right. Like,
That's
girl.
absolutely an abuse tactic. That's the type of language that an abuser uses to make you feel bad enough about yourself that you won't leave them because you feel like you're not good enough for anybody else and you're going to just be seen as wrong or inadequate by anybody else. So you might as well just stay with this person because at least they're willing to tell you how you can improve. Like, no. She needs to go take Ashley's advice and just get out here and hop on a couple of
And first of all, I was like, why would you tell him what they said? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, grown women don't do that. You know, that's some little girl type shit. Grown women do not do that. Don't say, listen, my friends told me I shouldn't be with you. What?
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of stuff you say that if you don't want them to ever get along, if you don't want them to ever be in the same space together. But if you're telling somebody that, like,
just say you don't want to be with him no more. Then she says, well, if I decide I want to be with other people, would you still want to be with me? Why do you still want to be with him? For what? What is he
And
offering you?
why, and then why are you letting him determine the terms of your relationship?
Exactly.
That's what
It's
I
not up.
don't understand.
Exactly.
I'm like,
It's not up to
what?
him.
Exactly. She is leaving it up to him. No, man. What do you want? Do you even know what you want? That's why I said she need to go back to the drawing board and heal because she ain't ready. She is not ready.
I like that they showed us the conversation where she asked, like, would you still date me if I were dating other people? Because his response was the default man response of like, well, if you're going to date other people, I want to date other people too. And
Right.
she's like, well, you don't even want to sleep with me. So clearly you're not actually thinking about going out here and dating other women. For what? What are y'all going to do? Are y'all also going to go to the gym? Are y'all
Go
also
to the
going to eat
zoo.
pizza? Are y'all
They're
also going to
going to
take
the
stupid-ass
zoo and
portraits
they're
of each
going to
other?
paint
Like,
caricatures.
no,
Okay. Because
no,
apparently that's what we do in adult dating. We go to the
no.
zoo. Pretend
Mm-mm.
to make pizza. I can't even go to a real pizza restaurant.
Right. Like, we're not even going outside holding hands and rubbing kneecaps. We just sitting in the house on opposite sides of the table, eating pizza and painting pictures. Sir, no,
Oh
you're
my
not
God.
doing
but,
that.
Oh
It's
my
anybody else
but,
out here. She's the
but
only one that's going to sit here and be like, okay, of course, let's go to the gym. Let's paint these feelings
I
out.
think he's sexually frustrated.
Oh,
I can
absolutely.
see that.
Yeah. I think
Absolutely.
he's very much
He's
sexually
Well,
incredibly repressed.
well, I mean,
He's
Eden, you're the sex therapist. What do you think? Like, like,
he is an incredibly repressed individual. Like, he clearly has stuffed down a lot of feelings and desires and urges and put the Christian cap on it, as I like to call it. And so he's not addressing them. He's just saying, like, oh, well, as a Christian, it is my duty to not have sex. As a Christian, you can't criticize my lack of intimacy or sexual engagement in my relationships because that's the Christian thing to do. And that's not true. And it's also not fair to himself or anybody that he dates. You can absolutely be intimate separate from sex. You can absolutely affirm your partner in
exactly.
non-sexual
You can
ways.
act like you
There's
like
plenty
me.
of ways that she has expressed that she wants him to say, like, I want to be with you. I find you attractive. I think you're beautiful. I desire you. And you can show your partner all of these things without going inside their body. Like, he's
Yeah.
being incredibly reductive and has this very, very repressed, very linear view of what intimacy actually
Yeah.
is in an adult relationship. This is not a 16-year-old in an opal ring who has made some sort of virginity pledge. This is a grown man, an
yeah.
adult man
Exactly.
up here talking about, what did he say in the early episode? Like, oh, if your friends are making fun of us not having sex, they're not making fun of me, they're making fun of God. No, we're
Oh
making fun of
my
you.
God. When I
We're
saw
making
that, I
fun of
was
you.
like, boy, bye.
We're making fun of you.
Ain't nobody talking about God up here. We have a
Nobody's
full
talking about your
appreciation of
God,
God.
sir. You can have him. You can
It's
have your
all
God all
you.
day long.
It's all you.
It's
Yeah.
Like
You're the weird one. You're the one
crazy.
being weird.
But
Yeah.
in this, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, I was going to say this though. So Stacy is new on the scene. This is her first season with us in Potomac as the Real Housewife. But this is the thing. This relationship is interesting as hell. Like this weird
It
relationship
is
that she is in
interesting.
with this man
It
is
is.
giving, and like we said, it's a boring season. Ashley don't really have no storyline. Gizelle, sure, but this is giving us really a lot of conversation
It is.
because I really think this. I don't know if he really is very religious, and I just think he's weird. I think that's why he's acting like that. He's weird and he mean.
But that's what
That's
I'm
crazy.
saying by the, like,
That's why I say
Christian
he's
cat.
sexually repressed. That's why he's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's
mean.
my point. That, like,
He's taking it out on her.
we don't
Bruh, it's
see his
not her.
religion reflected in any other element of his personality. We don't
None.
see him praying
He's
over
not
the
a
pizza.
kind,
We
wonderful
don't see,
individual.
yeah, like, we don't see him going out of his way to be philanthropic or charitable or like do
Right.
anything
Yeah.
else that reflects
Mm-mm.
Christian values. We
That's
only
true.
see his Christianity expressed in the fact that he refuses to tell his woman that he wants to have sex with her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
not
she even said it. She was just like, I just want to know that you want me. But she
exactly.
couldn't even
Yeah.
say it to him. She could not even say it to him. I think she said that like in the, in the confessional or whatever. Like she does not even tell him how she really feels.
And I think a
Mm-hmm.
part of her, like a lot of people struggle with communication around like asking for what they
Yes.
actually need from their partners. And
Yeah.
there are certain things that we are taught. Now I get to put on my sex educator hat for real. There's certain things that we're taught that we shouldn't have to say, right? There's
Mm.
certain things that we're taught that, like, well, in the context of a relationship, at a baseline, we're attracted to each other. At a baseline, we want to spend time with each other, investing in the things that each other is into, and like coming up with a real projection of like what our relationship is going to look like going forward and how to affirm that and all of those things. And so she probably feels like, I cannot believe I have to tell this man
You
to
do.
tell me that he wants me, to tell me that I'm beautiful, to tell me that I'm desirable. You don't have to have sex with someone to feel sexually desired and to feel beautiful and to feel like this person wants you. And like I just really want her to want better for herself. And I know that like Ashley telling her, go out here, ride a couple of pogo sticks is like
Which
a
is not
very
it.
opposite end of the
That's not
spectrum
it.
way to look at it. But like, yes, expose yourself to other men who are
Mhm.
going to, or women, or whoever you decide to get down with, and like allow them to tell you you're beautiful so you know what it sounds like. Allow other, like, get that affirmation that you need so you can be like, you know what, you're right. I shouldn't have to find out if the person that I'm
Mhm.
dating is attracted to me. I
Right. I
shouldn't
should
have to
know.
beg to hear
Mm-hmm.
that I am desirable. Like, go
I mean,
out
I
in the
think
world and let yourself hear that.
what it really says to me, and what I always point back to, is what was really going on in her marriage that she would then end up in a relationship like this and be okay with it.
True.
Because you would think you in a marriage is bad, you getting out, you gonna go to like the opposite. You know what I mean? You gonna want to have sex. You
Yeah.
gonna want to be with a person who you know desires you, like all of these things, and you end up in this. So what was really going on in that marriage?
That's what I was thinking too. What was really happening with the German? I mean, did the German, and what really happened with her and that German man? Did the German man cheat on her? Did they grow apart? Like, what really
We
happened with
already know
that?
it was some financial stuff going down. And how he gonna ask about my finances? Like, oh, you gonna get a financial whatever? Sir, that's none of your business. Don't
That
worry about my money.
bags me.
Don't
The
worry
fact
about
that
my
he
money.
just out of nowhere was like, "So, are you thinking about hiring a forensic accountant,
I
sir?
surely
Are
am
you
not.
are you thinking about touching my titty?" Like, if we just asking questions, then we just asking pop off questions out here. Like, what you mean?
I was like, oh no, sir, you are not coming for
No.
mine. No,
No, that was
no.
a wild question for him to just up and ask. And like, I like what she said in the confessional that like she not really trying to involve him in
Yeah.
the process of the divorce. Like, yeah, we can
Mhm.
be together through this, but I'm also not about to come to you and be like, so this is what we decided. Like,
I
nah,
think
that's
by the
that's not
end of
his
this
business.
show, TJ will be no more.
I hope
I
so.
think she's starting to put out some boundaries. She's starting to say, you know what? This is some bullshit. Like, I think by the end of it, we're gonna be like, TJ gone.
I
I
hope
I
so.
really hope so, because he gets on my last nerve.
You better sing it.
I'm telling you, like I hate to see him coming, and when they show him on the show, I'm like, oh my good, the
Don't you get
haircut ain't.
irritated as soon as he's shown on the screen? Like when
The
they walked
haircut
into
ain't.
Wendy's party, I was like, oh,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
telling
his
y'all, he's a
haircut ain't got
plant.
no better. His style ain't got no better. Ain't
Oh my god,
nothing.
his haircut. What? Why? Why? Why?
I'm telling y'all,
Yeah.
he's a plant. I'm telling y'all, he is a plant.
They
they
need
say
to
he
get
a
a better
phase.
plan.
Okay, look out. Don't tell him nothing.
They need to get a better plan. All
Yeah.
right,
Yes,
so
Yes.
let's talk
100.
about the next Lord, what's going on in this relationship couple. Mia. Now you got
Oh,
two, well, Lil's a therapist. I'm a life coach with a therapist background. Okay. You got two mental health professionals on here, and I'm like, why is she going to her friend who has no mental health
I hate it.
anything for advice about bipolar. Like, why aren't you just talking to her man since he is the clinical social worker? Or why don't y'all just go get family counseling? Like, why is she getting advice from her?
Yeah.
Can we just
So
start with that? Like your homegirl is not qualified to give mental health advice just because her man is a social worker. That's not the qualifications.
no, it's
I
not.
hate
It's
it
real.
so
It's
much.
not. And it's you might listen. Next time, just go on Instagram. Next time, just go on TikTok. Next time, just
Like, go
Because
like
you're clearly willing to hear from anybody.
from anybody about what the bipolar really is. Come on, girl, stop it. And that's number one. Number two, you the amount of time that she has been with that man, she know that man is the hell crazy. I mean, come on, like she knew he had a whole bunch of problems and issues and everything like that. I think they had a whole setup because this guy has been her boyfriend since high school, and it's just like now, like now everything crumbling apart because you said that that he was your sugar daddy and that you were really used. That is the root of why all of this is crumbling apart. Come on now. No, I can't believe that. She knew for years that he had problems.
But
You know, I
what really blew my mind was when those kids said that they didn't want her to be with what's his name,
Ink.
Ink.
Pink, in front of the
Mhm.
or the alleged daddy. That was like that spoke volumes in real life. In
Yeah.
real,
They
real
still want their daddy.
guys. And I'd like to see where they're going to go from there with that in real life.
I mean, Shelly, I think, Shelly, I know that you know my cousin and that you used to work with my cousin and everything like that. So I think you have that behavioral health background too, right? At
Yeah,
least children and youth background.
again, I worked in behavioral health therapy, to therapy. Go ahead.
So it's kind of like for the kids, this is a TV show, this is entertaining for us, all this stuff. But like Giselle said, if she's confused, she know them kids are confused. And and you're putting your kids like just life and their mental state at stake for our entertainment just to be on TV with all this stuff. Like I don't think that's right.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
I really hate Mia's storyline right now. I
Mhm.
really hate how involved we are in the children's opinions of it all. I hate that we're questioning paternity publicly.
Oh
Like,
my
I
God.
really don't like where we're going with
Mhm.
this. And I have been rooting for Mia since day one. I love a
Mhm.
stripper come up story. So I have really been rooting for Mia. I think she's great in a lot of ways, but this particular season, I don't like how any of this story is going. And as a polyamorous person and an advocate for non-monogamous lifestyles, I really wish that we got to see a like a fleshed out dynamic that was healthy. I really
Yeah.
wish we got
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
see
Yeah, this
Mia
ain't it.
negotiate these relationships and give her kids an understanding of, like, yes, your daddy is always going to be your daddy. I happen to have love in my heart for this other person as well, and this person contributes to my life and my happiness in a way that I want to keep them around. So, like, let's figure out what this dynamic is going to be. And we get to see moments of that when they showed like that they all went to the pool together and Gordon was pouring drinks or whatever. Like, we get to see moments of what a healthy dynamic looks like, with Mia as kind of like the center point of this V dynamic. But it's really messy in a way that I just hate.
Mhm.
I hate it so much.
Mhm.
I just hate that the children they know too much, they see too much, they hear too much, and they
Mhm.
have to make decisions and choices for it. That's my big. The help,
It's a lot that's wrong.
yeah,
Mhm.
It's a lot that's wrong. Not only can the children do that, but they can go back and watch the season.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
They
it's.
grow up. They're going to grow up and look at this stuff.
I mean, I really wish that they had gotten the entire family, some type of counseling or something. I don't like that she seems to be blaming him a lot of things and then blaming it on his illness. It's just all the way bad. And I mean, and if you really feel that way, then why are you living in the same place as him that has so much access, meanwhile got some other dude coming around? Like, the whole thing is just messy. Like, where's the boundaries? Like, maybe you should live somewhere else, or maybe he should live somewhere else. If y'all gonna do this for the kids, maybe you shouldn't have another man coming around right now until y'all work this whole thing out, and it's good. Like, the kids don't even know y'all getting a divorce. Why are we having a divorce talk after a man is already here? I was confused.
Like, that's the real tea. Like, if we're gonna make this about Gordon's mental health and a bipolar diagnosis, why are we also having like super triggering conversations on camera with a person with bipolar disorder? Like, that just seems like you're asking for very unpredictable behavior that we don't necessarily see on camera, but we hear her tell everybody about it. And you're
She's
right.
very
Like,
vocal.
not only do the kids have access to this just as much as we do, but like other people in the children's lives get to see
Yep.
this. Their, schoolmates, teachers, whoever else they interact with. So even if they don't watch the show, or if they don't get to see the playback of like themselves being recorded, people still have all sorts of room. People get out of pocket asking
Absolutely.
questions
Especially
and
now.
accusations anyway. It
Yep.
is not hard to believe that somebody would randomly walk up to one of these kids and be like, "So do you know who your daddy is?" Like,
That's true.
I just hate that about this situation.
Yeah. It's all
That's
too messy. It's the epitome of messy.
Yeah. Like,
Woo!
it's like Jerry Springer style mess.
It
This is
is,
not.
well, it's so funny you said it, because that's what I was just having kind of flashbacks in my head as we were talking about Jerry Springer stuff with this. And you're right. They have classmates, they have friends, they have cousins, they have a whole bunch of other little kids, and kids can be really mean. And it's just like, oh, well, I saw your dad on TV, and I saw your mom, and your mom, who's your dad really? And just all this other kind of stuff. Like, it just could be so mean for them. Yeah, and I think I know at the very beginning when they had the hat party for Karen, and Gizelle said something to Mia about it and everything, and Mia got upset and had a meltdown and went in the bathroom and everything like that. But I don't think Gizelle was wrong, because it's just like, when you really look at it, like, what are you doing as a mom? Are you really protecting your kids
Yeah.
by acting like this on TV? I mean, listen, Avalaura, maybe one day you can tell us how much they get paid to be on this show. I'm curious as I don't know what. I know they
Not
get paid,
enough.
but it's
Not
not
enough.
enough.
Because that
Yeah,
follows you your whole life. You don't get rid of that.
no, no. So
So,
you just,
but
this
again,
is.
we talked about it. That's her personality. That, Mia is still, I don't care. Listen, she done been through some things. I think she's still going through some things. And she is comfortable in the messy. And so for her, this is just another thing. Like, I don't think that she even sees it fully the way that we do. She might after this airs, but I don't even think that she saw it like that. Her whole thing is we need to keep it real. All of that is a little too real. A little too real. So I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. It seems like they kind of getting deeper and deeper instead of pulling back. I was hoping they would start pulling back, but nah, they just going deeper into the trenches with this one. So
I was hoping they would kind of pull back from the like seriousness of Mia's storyline and let us just continue to laugh at Karen calling Ink DJ Applebox, because that shit is funny. Not to height shame, I love a short king, but DJ Applebox is funny as hell. And the fact that they had the montage of photos where he was in the front and Mia's all the way in the back, so
right.
little, it's funny as
Listen,
hell.
last week it was funny when she was talking about Pimp Village. I was crying. I was like, Karen got all the shit. She got all the shit.
Karen got a very slick mouth. She's always had a very slick mouth.
So I'm gonna give y'all a little tea on this. So it was interesting. So I was glad they kind of, they brought Ray in this whole thing. So y'all know at some point the session with Karen and I are coming up. They did want me to come back and do a session with Karen and Ray, which now I see why. And we couldn't work it out with our schedule, so it didn't happen. So it was interesting when I saw this. I was like, okay, I saw where they were going. I saw where they wanted to put me, but we didn't make it work. Yeah, because that
I
was
would have liked to
interesting.
see that.
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't
because
be
when she was
mad about
talking
seeing that.
about, she didn't feel supported, and and I was thinking about it when I was watching it, like real talk, anybody who's been through any type of trauma with a spouse, like a lot of times they don't even know how to support you in that. You know what I mean? Really, like it's like you're getting, and I don't want to say it in a negative way, but it's gonna sound like that. It's like you're getting dragged into something, right? Because this is your spouse and you love them, and you're not equipped to deal with this. Like, so
Yeah,
what
and
do
Ray
you
has never
do?
really given super like emotionally available, like attentive partner in that way. So I don't know. I'd definitely be interested to see like what kind of a moderated or mediated conversation looks like with the two of them, because I feel like, well, they've done it before where like they were speaking to a therapist or
Yeah.
whoever, their preacher, I don't know. And like I remember them asking if they were in love with each other, and his response was like, well, I think I'm in love with her. And it's like, well, if you're not sure, then of course you're not fully bought into providing like the emotional support that she might need, that you don't feel fully equipped to deliver, but you know she needs it, so you're gonna try.
I mean, Ray loved Karen. You could tell he loves Karen. And I don't know, like you have been their couples counselor, Avalaura. So, I don't think, but I think it's just with certain, sometimes it is a male thing that it just doesn't occur to them and they just don't know how to do it. And that's why you have to show them and support them. And that's why they need to come to therapy and everything. So just
I
to be
mean,
support. Yeah,
like
that's
the
what I think.
reality is, we all know most of these men, they don't want to be here. Like, let's be real. Like, this is your thing. I'm gonna be here to support you, but I'm really not trying to be here. I really don't want to be on camera anyway. Like, that's number one. But then number two, like, I think this is where you start to see the age gap. This is where it starts to show up. Like, in the beginning, it's like, oh, he's older than me. He's established. He's all of that. But, that also comes with old school. That also comes with being set in their ways. That also comes with, not as open or doesn't pick up new things as quickly as you do. So you dealing with a lot of, other things coming into play. And, it's not that he doesn't love her, but yeah, like, this is a lot of change. This is a lot for me to take. And I'm at this age and you know what? I'm trying to chill. I'm just trying to chill and retire and live my life.
I can 100% see that. I really can. And I can see, she start crying. He'd be like, you want me to hold you? Like she'd start being upset. What you want me to do? Like she would have to tell him probably what she wanted him to do. I can 100% see that.
Yeah.
What's their age difference?
I forgot. I have to look it up, but I know it's significant.
It's over. Like, is it 20 years or something?
I think it's in that range.
It's significant. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find it. Yeah. So, but I thought, they kind of got that little bit in there. What else happened? It was something else that happened, or was that everything? I feel like I take my notes. So again, with the Jay, what's the Jay chick? She didn't make an appearance. We still don't know why.
Jacqueline, Mia's friend.
Well, Jacqueline, I think this was the first episode that Jacqueline was not in.
Oh, you're talking about Jazzy.
Her, Jazzy. I still don't know why she there, because
I mean, it seems like with this season, with Robin gone and Candace gone and whoever else didn't come back, I think they're just trying out a handful of people to see who fits. We keep seeing Vivian, we keep seeing Jazzy. We don't know if Kiana's going to stick around. We don't know if Stacey's going to stick around. Like, I think they're just introducing us to some new people to see how we feel about them. And I'm not really feeling any of them. You can keep Stacey. Stacey is at least interesting.
That's what I
interesting.
I think she's entertaining.
I'm bought into
Yeah.
how this Stacey thing goes, but the rest of them, like, I'm not super
Yeah,
invested.
so yeah, Jazzy wasn't there. She didn't even make an appearance this week. She can go. Kay, it'd be so minimal. I forget she's there. So yeah, like I don't even think I had any notes on. I was like, I was just trying to think of my notes. Like, nope, they weren't in any of them.
No.
Nope.
Jazzy's fighting for a storyline, but her storyline could be interesting, especially because at the
Right.
dinner it came out that like her man clearly got somebody pregnant while
Exactly.
they was together. Like, if we want to do messy paternity stuff, let's
But
do it with Jazzy's kids or Jazzy's man's kids. Let's not do it with Mia's kids.
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mhm.
what we talked about, and I was she in denial. I don't think she want to go there, so maybe that's why she's not really on, because she doesn't really want to go down that line, even though that is her storyline. And then Kay, we don't know what her storyline is. Her whole thing is like my boyfriend, husband, man is a clinical social worker, and that's it. Like
You
that
know what?
defines her.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. There. What you say at the
Not
end?
so like that defines her, because that's the only thing I know about her. That, and she
I
has a scar and a skincare line and something.
I think it's a carryover from the fight that happened last season when, she got injured, and that's why they still have her on the show, because a lot of people had questions about that fight with Candace and Cookie Monster, and therefore that's why, like, they still have Kay there, but it's like, Kay, what are you really doing? What are you really bringing? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Eden, that's a good point. Maybe they are trying different people. They're going to see that these folks don't work, and we're not going to see them again next season. I can accept
Maybe.
that. I can accept that, because they are just not. No, we don't know. Anything else, ladies? I think that was it. Like I said, this episode, it was, it had some stuff, but overall, I think this has just been a boring season.
Yeah, it's wild that we're already at episode 10 and we don't really have much
Nothing.
meat. We don't have too much going on. Like we're
Hmm.
like we keep seeing, bits and pieces of what Karen is going through with her court case, and like the grief that she's processing, and these people that she be bringing in to talk about what she going through. And I feel like that's what they're trying to make the center point of this season. But like, I'm not even whole way invested in that. I hope that everything is on the up and up as far as that is concerned. And like, that's really all I got for it. I don't want to hear nothing else about who may or may not be the father of Mia's children. Like, let's watch TJ work out some more and say more corny shit. Let's do that.
Let's not.
More
I,
screen time for TJ.
I hate to see him coming. You don't understand.
Put
When they
Stacey
show on
and
the commercial that
TJ
he's coming up next, I'm
I
like,
hate
oh man, really? He gonna be on here? I hate
so
to see him
bad.
coming. I hate to see him coming.
And he
Exactly.
is getting a lot of time too. Did you
A
notice?
lot.
He get
He
more
is.
time than these housewives.
Exactly. He's been on screen more than Jazzy, more than Kay, more than Jacqueline, more than Vivian, more than all of them.
I told
So yeah, but we need to go ahead on and add Stacey to the speed dating.
Shelly said, I told y'all he a plant. That is funny to
Yeah,
me.
episode 10. We more than halfway there, so we about to find out.
Yeah, like what
It's
else can happen? Is Karen gonna go to actual jail? Like, I don't. What can happen of this season?
not
What are
funny.
we doing here?
I want to know who changed the will.
Okay.
We
Dun,
are,
dun, dun.
that's what I want to know. That's the storyline. Who
Yes.
changed the will?
Okay. Give me
Yeah.
something interesting. Some meat.
And what is the consequence of that? Like, does it carry jail time? Like, what happens when you do that?
Right.
That's
Mm-mm.
what that's what I want
That's
to know.
what we need to
And
find out.
what was in the will? Who changed?
Yeah, I mean, Giselle daddy loved her. You could tell.
Oh,
So for
absolutely.
her, for him to have a will that he didn't leave her nothing. And she does, like, I've talked to people who knew her and know her from this area. She has a sister. And so it's like her and her sister, you didn't leave either one of them nothing.
Mm.
Mm. All right, someone.
Mm-hmm.
Say someone.
Right.
All right. Well, for those someone's watching, if you got any questions and comments, feel free to comment. We didn't have any comments come in this time, but that's okay. But replay. I'd love to hear from you all. Cause yeah, this is interesting. I just think people are like, they're over it. I think that's what it is. People are just kind of over it this season, and they just like us, like, look, what's next? Because this can't be it.
Exactly. And that's why they was talking shit about Wendy's sweater, because they ain't had nothing better to say, because we were not giving any material.
That sweater was so ugly.
It just really, I was like,
sweater.
like I said, when the hands came down, they were in the subway, and that thing kept getting bigger, and it was running from it. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
Justice for Wendy's sweater.
I missed you all's conversation. Wish she would be her African authentic self.
Oh, Shirley has a lot to say about that topic.
Why she just authentic? She is becoming so European to me and Americanized. I'm not. Ugh.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all, actually. I mean, granted, we don't get to see her, every day, but I think that we do get to see her pay homage to her cultural roots and stay in touch with, her mom's practices and the large family gatherings, and even the way that she styles some of her more formal wear. You can definitely tell that there is some African influence, or maybe even African designers putting these looks together.
Not enough. Not enough.
I'm talking about not that one.
Not the blue sweater.
I need a meme. I need Avalaura when we get up off of here.
Oh my God!
Need a meme. I need to, because I don't tweet a lot. I have a Twitter, but I don't tweet, and so I need to understand what was.
I just go on there for comments. I don't go on. Oh my goodness, it's been fun, ladies. This is the highlight of my Monday, so this makes Mondays well worth it. All right.
Yes, I love kicking with y'all.
So thank y'all for being here, hanging out with us. We will be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, well, we just gonna keep watching and praying and hoping that it gets better. That's what we're gonna do.
No more TJ. No more.
What would you rather have? More TJ or Wendy in that sweater again?
I'll take that sweater.
Exactly. Justice for the sweater.
I take that sweater, because every time I see him, I just want to pull out some clippers and go around the side of his hair. And just get it right. So
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, some barber, please hook him up, please.
There's some lovely barbers in the DMV area. Somebody please reach out to TJ and offer him a lineup and a nice little temp fade. That's all he needs. He can keep the curls on top. We like that.
On top, not the sides.
We don't just fade this now.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night, everybody.